Everyone, I'm Charity Starchenko, the marketing manager here at Vibrant Faith, and I'd love to welcome you to the first video in our series, Everyday Reinvention, the Power of Coaching for Ministry Change. I'm here with our Director of Coaching and Coaching Services, Jim Ledoux, and today our first video is going to be about coaching, ministry leadership and coaching. So Jim, we can start out with a question. How is ministry leadership different in 2022 versus 2019 before the pandemic?
Well, I think one significant area is just literally that leaders are exhausted. There's been so much change and few margins to restore oneself. I think they're tired and they feel like they're kind of on a treadmill that they can't get off. Mm-hmm. And so I think the desire for and yearning for some Sabbath rest and renewal and the opportunity to do deep work is just really, really critical for them. Yeah. At the same time, they've navigated some significant shifts. And I think that they realize they can, manage and navigate disruption better than maybe they thought they could, even though they're tired.
Yeah.
And I think they also are clearly aware that what we did before 2019 isn't necessarily what we need to or should do moving into 2022 and beyond.
Yeah, that's been a really hard shift for a lot of people. What are some of the challenges that ministry leadership brings with it these days?
Well, I think part of that is with the limited margins and always playing catch up, that deep work is really critical. Because if we are to, in essence, create a new way of being and reinvent the church and reinvent ministries and how we form faith and how we reach out to our communities, it requires some deep and creative thinking. So I think one of those elements is how are we carving out or creating space for creative thought? Yeah. And also the execution that comes along with trying to implement some of your experiments. Mm-hmm. I think the understanding that that really leadership is about being part of a team, that all of us have wisdom. So how do we draw out the wisdom of others, knowing that we don't always have the answers? Mm-hmm. And what we did before that was tried and true no longer works. So are we willing to risk failure for the sake of learning so that we succeed sooner? Are we willing to gather the wisdom of other people and maybe try some new things and be okay with it failing? Mm-hmm. And if we can understand failure as an opportunity to learn and then to make some course corrections and then try another experiment, I think as we move into ministry and what really truly impacts people, it's going to be an ongoing series of experiments, learnings, course corrections, and reinvention. And can we look at that as an adventure, that a learning adventure that allows us to more deeply and impactfully serve other people? Yeah.
And Jim, I'm wondering if you can speak a little bit about one of the things I was interested in is when you said, can we think of this as an adventure? Mm-hmm. And I'm wondering if you could speak a little bit about how we develop that sense of adventure. A lot of people might be feeling like this is too much, like they're not sure how they're ever going to move forward. But what are ways we can develop a sense of adventure in this new ministry landscape?
Yeah, I think obviously there's a lot of anxiety in this system, and a lot of that is self-imposed anxiety and things that we place on ourselves. Yeah. But I think even if we could encounter that this time of disruption is also an opportunity to play a little bit, play with some new ways of being church, play with new ways of reaching out and serving other people, play with helping people form faith in their daily lives. But if we could actually bring a playfulness mindset and actually enjoy the journey rather than just trying to get to the end destination, I think that's just a really critical part. Yeah. Because, even as people plan trips, they kind of think of that's where they want to go. But ultimately, what we want to enjoy the journey all the way to the destination. And so I just think somehow we have to shape this as an adventure and a learning piece that's going to be messy. And can we become comfortable with messiness, with not everything being perfect? And can we also be aware of where is God showing up in this process? That these are God moments and God opportunities. And so often we don't see God at work because we're so preoccupied with our own plans.
Yeah. I think that's been really challenging for a lot of people. I think really developing that mindset of I'm playing the long game with God has been challenging, but also deeply rewarding. because
Uh-huh.
it calls you into deeper relationship with him. And I think that that's really the best place we can find ourselves in this time. Yeah, Jim, these are great insights. Thank you so much for this. In our next video, we're going to talk about how leaders shape church culture. So we hope that you join us in the next video. If you would like to learn more about coaching, you can connect with Jim at the bottom of this video. And we'd also like you to spend some time reading some articles that we have about leadership development and ministry change and different topics that we write about on the regular at Vibrant Faith. And so we'll look forward to seeing you in our next video. Thanks a lot, Jim.